Hey, everybody.
Do you want this?
Yeah, I brought one down.
That is the one.
Okay.
Welcome back if you're out there. This is the after party. Tie is loose.
I gotta log back in to see all the chats going on.
This is my lovely half here. She's here.
I'm here. Oh, there I am.
Hey, it's you. We'll wait for people to stroll in if there's anyone out there. Hey, we got Loomis in the house. We got Halloweeny here, so the cats are.
Cats are roaming free.
You can here, sit a little more off. Yeah, so you can have that back. All right, we'll see who strolls into the after party. What cats stroll in?
We got Jonathan. We got the Gorefathers. We got Elizabeth. We got Michael Christopher.
Phil's still around.
Slimer Joel.
Phil, you still here?
What up, Moods?
Mood's still here.
Scott S.
Bless
Hello.
ya. Bless you all. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I really do, and I appreciate you for being here. It's such a new dynamic with the live, the truly live element, live stream element, which is the third year now. I hope you all like it. I guess we'll continue this. It's definitely easier on Hope than dealing with all the editing. I do miss one of my favorite aspects of my channel, which seems like so long ago when I was actively doing stuff. I miss the skits and all that stuff, which I think was unique to my channel, as opposed to just, either reviewing films or showing off, the shit you picked up, which is fine. I love watching people do that, but that wasn't really what attracted me. I liked doing kind of the more oddball stuff. So I miss that element. I miss the skits and stuff. But this is a lot easier on Hope, and since I don't have the time to do that stuff anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, this is awesome. I love this format, and you guys are the ones that make it. I mean, I suppose I would do this just talking to myself, which is pretty much what I do half the time. Sit home and talk to myself about horror movies. But hey, Loomis, get out of it. He loves. Hey, come on, come here. Don't go in there.
The way he's just looking.
Come on, there you good boy. Loomis is my favorite cat. He's my boy.
Loomis.
Named, of course, after Dr. Sam Loomis. I'm an atheist, but this cat is an angel.
I should go grab him. He needs to be on camera.
He's an absolute angel.
He has his own Instagram,
He
everybody.
does. Loomis.
Official
Loomis cat page.
Loomis.
Yeah, anyway, guys, it means a lot for you.
Come here.
It means a lot to me for you guys to be here.
Come here.
That was fun. Just celebrating the films that I love, and I just want people to watch them. So much to watch every year. But here he is.
The angel.
Try to get his face in there. He won't look up. Look at this kid.
Loomis,
He is an angel.
The floofiest boy.
He's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
All right, look at this beer I got, guys. Look at this. Myers Creek. They're out of,
What?
it's a collab with Fifth Hammer Brewing. They're out of, it's local,
Hey,
somewhat
Loomis.
local, Casanova in New York. Look at this for all you Big Lebowski fans.
That's
Can you see
awesome.
that?
Yeah. Over the line.
Over the line, smoky. So anyway, this is a export stout. I don't know what export means. 7.5%. Anyway, cheers, everybody.
I got my Red Bull right now. So
She got the Red Bull going.
cheers. Mine were pretty heavy during the show, so going
Smells
Red
good.
Bull right now.
Cheers, everybody. If everyone, you're drinking something, whatever, hold it up to You Won't Be Alone. That's my pick for Best Picture of 2022. If you think it sucked, that's cool. If you think it was great, awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, fucking watch it. Hopefully we'll get a nice bomb-ass release. It's definitely shocked me considering I saw it back in April. I never would have thought that would be an issue, that it wouldn't. So that's really a bummer. So hopefully it'll get a nice release. On that note, I wanted to show you guys just some of those other releases that I mentioned earlier. And one of the big reasons that Second Sight took home the prize for best purveyor of physical media. The love that they give to new films. They've done it with, in the past, with Censor, or some of the other ones that they've done. Drawing a blank on Raw. Another one that escapes me from a couple. Anyway, it's just cool to see new releases get pimped out release. But this is the release of A Banquet, nominated for Best Foreign. Great, such a great film. Look at this beautiful release. Does that look all right, Shelly?
It's awesome, yeah.
Booklet. Absolutely love this film. Again, feminist connotations, but I just don't want to give away too much. Awesome release, and they have the art cards. Great film. This was a double dip because I had the regular Blu-ray when I first saw it. Loved it so much, and picked up this. Here's the film Bull. Another Best Foreign nomination, Best Actor nomination. Haven't seen this film get enough love. A similar tonal shift to Kill List. If you know, you know. So yeah, awesome. I just want to show you guys some cool releases from the year from films from this year. Terrifier 2, VHS. There's a couple companies that release this on VHS. I know Witter Entertainment did a cool one, but I went with this one from Kadi Video. I love the artwork there. And lastly, I thought this was a cool leather style media book for X. This is a German release. I love this artwork. Really nice. It's the lovely Mia Goth, who was all over the awards tonight. Shoo-in for Best Actress. So anyway, if you're into collecting, those releases are all available for you to pick up. Who do we got, Shelly? Anyone in?
You always have the dopest editions, man, from Moods. That's Dope T2 from Moods and Michael Christopher. Happy with T2. And then for the movies you're looking forward to in 2023, Maxine and Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't watch the trailer because, frankly, I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me on this. The trailers these days literally show you the whole narrative arc. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally, like, it's like, being in a band. It's like sending someone a demo where you're trying to like.
Yeah, Mood said I never watch trailers.
No, I just can't.
I don't either unless I'm in the theater already and it's playing.
But if it's like a really like, unknown film that you're kind of trying to get an idea of, is this cringe or something? But if it's like kind of a somewhat talked about release like Evil, that would be the perfect example. No way, like. I'm gonna see the film regardless, so no way am I gonna watch the trailer. Again, a reminder to you guys, be bossy, but please check out Lydia's Fall. Moods, I don't know if you checked it out yet. I'm sure you'll
The son's
appreciate
going
it.
to after this.
Yeah, put it in add it to the watch list or whatever. But seriously, some of you at least have seen I Dare You to Open Your Eyes. Unfortunately, it's not available on YouTube anymore. There's a website that we kind of got a part of that put that film on YouTube, and it actually had like 300,000, over 300,000 views, which was really cool. But then it was like a 2-year contract or something like that, and so that's no longer available. If anyone wants I Dare You to Open Your Eyes, we can burn you like a Blu-ray feature-length film that Hope's definitely passed, because I mean, something she did in high school, but so proud of that film. Very, very dark film, and just so impressive for someone in high school. So I mean, if you really are interested, I'll mail you a Blu-ray copy. But on that note, seeing her progression, her maturation as a filmmaker, if you have seen I Dare You to Open Your Eyes, very different film, of course, but you'll see it. Just technically speaking, I think if you've seen that film, you'll see the progression. That's what you want to see with a young filmmaker. You want to see the natural progression of each thing they do, and she definitely took it to the next level with this one. And again, you get to see me look like George Costanza, and we all love Halloween themed horror, and that's what Lydia's Fall is. And you'll hear Finchie's great score work and all that. So definitely, if you watch it, please comment on the actual video, so Hope gets to see your thoughts on it. We would really appreciate it.
Irish Mad Dog said, "Dude, I Dare You to Open Your Eyes made me cry." It did that to a lot of people.
Dude, that's awesome to hear, man. Hope, she definitely wants to make films that resonate, and like we always say, prove that horror can be a very profound, I mean, we all know it, but just to prove that horror can be it has a lot to say. And it's kind of a good segue to what I was going to say about how, like, you know, in this, I don't want to get too political, but I think most of you know my political views and whatnot, but I hate the term elevated horror. I think that's like the cinematic equivalent of wokeism, which is basically just speaking out against inequality and having empathy and
that's basically
stating facts, which there's a portion, especially in our country, which has unfortunately
systemic issues.
Which unfortunately fascism has reared its ugly head here in our country, which I never thought I would see so brazenly. But on that note, to say that horror has I see people say, well, why do you mix politics or social issues with horror, which is complete bullshit, because it's always been a part of it, more so than any genre. Well, go look at the George Romero films. I mean, horror, more than any other genre, is a product socially and politically of its time. You have the 50s and kind of the nuclear, the heightened nuclear fears that was a reaction to that. 60s, a reaction to censorship. 70s, you had Satanic Panic. 80s, kind of the political Reaganomics excesses, which showed itself. And so it's always been there, and you're kind of ignorant to that if you don't see that.
Irish Mad Dog said horror is one of the best ways to deliver your message. I agree. There's a lot of messages in a lot of the, especially like newer horror.
There's not another genre that. I mean, I'm just being a dead horse, and I'm sure all of you agree with me. But horror is the most diverse genre. You can make people laugh, cry, terrify, provoke, disgust, cry. In the case of like I said, Hope wants to do that. It's amazing. So I just hate the elevated term is such a. It's based around fear, and it's intellectually bereft, and it's meant to be derogatory, as is wokeism. In our country, we literally just had a segment of our of our Congress literally say that they want to take wokeism out of our. I don't want to get into this, but and whether you disagree,
well get into it.
I know.
It's the after show.
If you disagree, whatever, but enough of you know me by now that you know where I stand in that way. But horror has always been on the pulse of social political issues, and if you don't accept that, you're kind of delusional. And this year is perfect on that. It's a sign of the times, and boy, has there been a lot of material and fodder. When you have turbulent times, and in our country, in my lifetime, I've never seen anything socially and politically like what we're going through now, and see the brazen embrace of fascism and misinformation and bigotry and all that stuff I never thought I would see. That's reflective in no more genre than horror. And we've seen that just alone this year with all the feminist, seeing in our country the right for a woman to choose. And so it's reflective of cinema. It's reactionary. Cinema and art in general is reactionary. When I write lyrics, if it is something personal, it's reactionary to something I've experienced. I talk about mental illness. Seeing themes like mental illness, feminist issues, fascism, capitalism, all that stuff has been a very strong aspect of the last 3 to 4 years in horror cinema. If you want to relegate that to wokeism or elevated horror, as if to insinuate that horror is only good for meaningless subject matters or frivolous or cheesy, meaningless slashers or supernatural bullshit or cheesy, it's all bullshit. It's part of that attitude that puts like horror on this kind of like substandard level, which is complete bullshit. And if anything, I hope this elevated horror has already worked we talked about what it's done for actresses and giving a great acting role. I think that coincides with that. So my point is, fuck you with your derogatory elevated horror wokeism bullshit. There you go. Horror is meaningful, and it's always been parallel to what's going on. Where that could go with whether it be the Turkish films or when the French films, the French New Wave first came out, that was combating some of these elements like fascism and whatnot. So it's always reactionary. So there you go. And I'd love to see it. I'm not saying because something is elevated or has subtext or is a metaphor or allegorical, that doesn't make it good. It can still be a shit film. I love conceptually Jordan Peele's films and the heavy subject matter that he takes on, but I feel like he hasn't executed them as well as they should be. Adding the humor to me kind of messed with the tone, made the tone uneven. So I'm not saying, if you have to like something because it's profound. Obviously not. That doesn't make it a good film, but it doesn't make it subpar because you consider it woke or whatever. Anyway, what do we got? People yelling at me?
No, everybody agrees. Big agree from me. Other genres are afraid of the topics that horror often face head on. That's right, because how are you gonna address anything that's like going on socially in like rom-com or a comedy or anything else, like what's it called, or even like an action film? Like, could Michael Bay even touch on anything like
horror
political?
I think to your average person, horror is kind of redundant or limited when it's the complete opposite. Like you said, other genres have these walls. Mm-hmm. And horror is a genre that doesn't have the walls,
Hey, we got our first spam account. Hot girls are waiting here. Hey, you've made it.
Let's go. Copy paste.
Don't click any of those links. That's a virus.
Michael Bailiff, what's he got? He's
Good horror is the most difficult genre to be creative within, I guess. It involves comedy, drama, action, in addition to building genuine suspense and tension. Yeah, like it's layered. Like horror is layered,
like
and
I said,
can be layered.
it's the most diverse, and there's people.
It really is.
Horror can literally provoke any emotion, and it's the only genre that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And to the count of someone saying that Hope's movie "I Dare You to Open Your Eyes" made them cry when that premiered. Her very first film when she was 11 years old, Zombie Kids.
Yeah.
Made an adult cry
Mm-hmm.
when it was screened. So yeah, that's a great thing. Anything that can elicit strong emotions, whether it disgusts you or you agree with it. I mean, that's a good thing.
Was that the movie? The movie Scars Package 2?
Scare Package.
Scare Package. I don't think I've heard of that.
I didn't love the first one. I think it's an anthology. Great artwork. Whoever does that artwork is a genius. It was okay. It was a pretty cool low budget anthology. I know part 2 is out. Definitely check that out. Could be a nominee next year. What's the one, as far as, since we're just spitballing here, anticipated films next year? Is it, what's the one by Brandon Cronenberg? I think he has one coming out this year. Infinity Pool? I think that's the name of it. So, Antiviral, one back in 2013.
Yeah.
One in 2013, and his long-awaited follow-up, Possessor, was nominated for Best Picture a couple of years back, and I guess you could call it an upset, as Amulet beat it. That was the first year that Finch and I collaborated, and came down to Possessor and Amulet. I mean, there's a film you don't hear anyone talk about.
Also starring Mia Goth, Infinity Pool.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm excited for that one.
Justice for the Caleb Landry Jones Sexiest Man Award.
Oh, who said that?
Michael Christopher. Caleb, sexiest man.
I love him, man. Right on.
I mean,
I love that ginger
actor, but sexiest man.
I love him. He's sexy to me. Those freckles and I love him. Hey, Loomis, you can't get in there, man. Can't get in there, dude. I love Kate. On that note, Michael, have you ever listened to his music? He has a couple records out.
What?
He's gonna knock.
I know.
Loomis, go get him.
He can't get into anything in there.
Yeah, he has a couple. I'm pretty sure a couple records out. And I was like really disappointed. I mean, to each their own. We all like what we like. It's kind of just like.
Is it woke?
No, it's weird, oddball music. Just kind of uninteresting to me. I don't know. If you guys, if you're a fan of him, go check out his music. It's pretty cool that he does that. But I wasn't really into it. But yeah, I love him as an actor. Is he in Infinity Pool? That'd be amazing if he was. Loomis, what are you doing, man?
Irish Mad Dog asked, did you hear about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Yeah.
I did.
I saw that. I actually did watch that trailer. I'm disappointed that it's kind of cool because it actually, what's the hunt? Is it 100 Acre Woods?
That's the one.
So it kind of starts off that way and it looks really cool. And then it kind of, to me, turns into this like, almost like your next home invasion with basically just people with Winnie the Pooh masks, which is kind of disappointing. I could be totally off on interpreting.
It
but
doesn't, to me, it looked like their characters, not as
Like in
masks. Like
human
they were
form?
supposed to be mascots, but as that is what they are.
Well, what I could tell, it just looked like a person with a Winnie the Pooh mask.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's like the executive koala thing.
Right.
It's just
right.
they're supposed to be
them as a
that
human. Right.
is the creature.
But I guess I was just disappointed. Loomis.
Loomis, what the fuck?
He's
are you
obsessed
doing?
with that room.
There's not even anything in there.
I don't know. It started really cool, so I thought it was kind of gonna be like just like a fucked up version in the 100-Acre Woods. But to me, it looked like it turns into like a home invasion film. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm gonna definitely check it out because I guess that story Winnie the Pooh has gone public domain, so people are gonna
Yep.
like the
That's what it
Amityville,
was. That's
people are
what
just gonna-
happened.
It's like free reign, which is pretty funny.
So here's a fun question. Elizabeth
I'll
wants
be right
to know.
back. I'm gonna
What, you going to
hold
pee?
the fort. No, I'm just gonna get.
Okay. So I'll ask you the question since you're right here, anyways. Of all time, what movie has your favorite special effects? This might be tough or really easy.
I mean, first one that comes to mind, The Thing is.
Yeah.
The Thing is.
All
Yeah.
time, though?
John Carpenter, The Thing is up there. Mm-hmm. That's like my gut reaction. But yeah, so many. That's up there, The Thing.
The Thing.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much.
Oh, Slimer Joel said Steamboat Willie went public domain this year, too. Can't wait for the slasher version of
That's
that. I'm here for it. Like, I know the Winnie the Pooh thing looks cheesy, but I'm still gonna watch it. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
it
course.
still looks fun.
Of course.
Like, I know it's not gonna be amazing. Well, I don't know. It could be amazing. Who knows? Like, I still would love to see it. Like, I'm one of those people, I've always liked Winnie the Pooh. Like, the movie Christopher Robin, me and Hope
Yeah, I
saw
heard
that
that
in the
was good.
theater.
Cool.
And we cried in the first, like, minute. Like, it was just amazing. It was so amazing. Like, just their little voices, and they're just so freaking cute. But now, like, this, like, I'm totally here for it. Like, a horror version of it. Oh, Winnie the Pooh's voice, like, that just makes me want to cry. Like, it's just so
I love honey.
sweet. Honey. Like, oh my God. I love it.
Loomis.
Like, the movie Christopher Robin. Highly recommend.
I have to
It's
say,
so
this
good.
is one of those stouts that tastes like a porter.
Yeah.
It's not a real stout. When do we start
Mine's
mingling?
not either.
When did we start making stouts as porters? Anyway. So I know Moods wouldn't want to give it away because he's got his show coming out. But everyone else, comment your favorite of the year. I want to know. I don't want to affect the integrity of whatever platform you have. But if you don't, what was your number one of the year? I want to know.
Wait a minute.
I want to get a...
I haven't looked at the chat in like a minute.
Mhm.
They're planning a Bambi horror movie too?
Is
What?
this animated or like live action or CGI riddled?
And that's from two different people.
Is that a public domain situation?
Maybe. You and your horror movie said they're planning to do a Bambi horror flick too. And then Irish Mad Dog said, you heard of the Bambi one also? Wasn't Bambi already a horror film? Bambi started off as a horror film because freaking mom died immediately from a hunter. And there was blood. And poor Bambi's sitting there like crying over its mother. How do you start a movie like that? That's, Disney. Disney is horrible like that. Like, I mean, I'll definitely watch it because I grew up in this
is
shit.
Bambi like... I would love to see a bunch of Disney shit go public domain.
Yes.
Anyone out there a fan of on that note? Because I fucking hate Disney. Never went there.
I can't say I hate it because I always find myself
Yeah,
like reminiscing about Disney stuff that I grew up with.
I'm the cliche
Or, like-
anti-monopoly stuff. But Escape from Tomorrow, just guerrilla
Mm-hmm.
filmmaking alone. That was in my... If you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, at Horseball. But anyway, I redid my top 50, or just reposted my top 50 of last decade, which kind of represent, correlates with the Hornies, 2010 through 2019, which to me, in my opinion, it is the third greatest decade in horror history behind the 70s and 80s. And the fact that 9 of those 10 years, was the Hornies. So I did a top 50 of that decade, and honestly, I could do literally a top 500. Who would dare want to watch that or see that? But anyway, Escape from Tomorrow was, I think, in the 30s or 40s of the top 50. But if you've never seen it, all shot guerrilla style in Disney World, kind of commentary on capitalism and kind of like, just the American family. Amazing surreal film, shot in black and white. Don't really hear a lot of people talk about that. I could go grab it. Great cover art. Anyway, let me know if you see it, if you hate it, whatever. I loved it. Surreal. And it was one of those situations where everyone's like, how did Disney not sue them? And they basically wanted to, but then they thought that's just going to give them, attention, publicity. So they decided not to. So it's just brilliant. I'll go grab it. We're in the store. Gonna open the store.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna open the store, guys. I'm gonna fill the cash register in case anyone shows up. And I'll grab that movie. Show you guys. What are you doing?
What was that, Loomis?
No, Halloween.
Oh.
Can you see me in the shot?
Yes, I can see you in the shot.
I gotta use the stool. Anyone else have a stool for their collection?
Tales from the Hood has a good soundtrack.
Damn right it does. Thanks for the random comment.
That was Scott S.
God damn it does. Check this out, guys.
What do you got there?
Escape from Tomorrow. Look at that artwork.
That's freaking cool. That's like
Up or
tattoo
down?
worthy.
Look at that,
Oh,
guys.
right there's good. It's blurry, but
It's weird. I can't.
There you
it's
go.
not like real time.
yeah, there's a slight delay.
to go
It's
this way?
a couple second delay. Towards me.
Yeah, but so it's the opposite.
Yeah. And up. Just hold still.
There you go.
Okay.
Is that cool or what? Bad things happen everywhere. Any fans of this film? Looks good. I had to put in the red case. You know,
Jonathan Wilhelm said, "Where'd you get the red case?"
I
You used to swap it out. from
yeah, I
something
dab.
else.
Any chance I
Yeah.
get. Sometimes a couple sites in Germany will offer I got a pack of red cases. I got a pack of white cases. Sometimes you can get black. Severn Films sells their black cases. You can buy them. So anyway, I don't know if anyone loves that film, but that was in my top 50. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, give me a follow. You could see shit like that. Chars, y'all, whoever's out there. Again, I want you guys to comment what was your number one of the year. I want to see some.
Number one of 2022.
Yeah, 2022. What was your best picture? I want to know.
Elizabeth has to bounce. I have to get up early, so I must bounce. Thank you so much for doing the award show. I appreciate the time and energy you guys put into it. Cheers.
Elizabeth, Chars, thanks for. I see her on Instagram, I believe. So, Chars, keep in touch. Appreciate you watching. Have a good night. Good night. Jeez, it's going crazy. Good night.
Freaking not.
I want to get some people's number ones. I know Moods isn't going to tell me his, but Looking forward to listening to that show. Lionel, you still there? I want to know what your number.
I don't think so.
No, he's
I'm
gone.
just asking, what's your number one pick of 2022? Slimer Joel. My favorite of the year was Mad God. I'm a huge sucker for stop motion. Harryhausen was my lifeblood growing up, and to see Phil Tippett finally complete it after so long was such a joy.
Absolutely.
Honestly, like, I grew up with Harryhausen films too. Like, absolutely love. Like, what was it? Jason and the Argonauts, and
Yeah.
I can't think of the other names. But I just loved it. Stop motion, I'm a sucker for it too. I love that shit.
On the note of animation, horror, there's a film that I was going to nominate for Best Foreign, but it was one of those situations where technically the physical copy was released this year, but after doing some research, it kind of was a film that technically came out, I think, like 3 years ago. So I kind of do that like 2-year buffer where obviously IMDb is always like early because it does when it was actually like IMDb goes by when it was made. It was kind of like slightly too long ago to like kind of for me to consider it for this year. I think like production year was like 2019 or something. But anyway, I'll go grab it. It's essentially, it's not stop motion, but like animated, almost like not quite, well, kind of cartoon, but it also kind of had that like, almost like paper mache aspect too, like behind the cartoon.
That's like South Park in the original.
Kind of, yeah.
Like first
so anyway,
season was
nonetheless,
paper.
it's animated, but I'll go grab it. Polish film, really awesome.
Here we go. How could I forget about Clash of the Titans? I had to look up the Harryhausen films that I grew up with. Clash of the Titans, I loved. Jason the Argonauts, I loved. And I know there was one more. Sinbad! Oh, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Christ. Those were amazing. These were the movies that, like, we used to, these and, like, any of the old Godzilla movies, we used to record when they were on TV, and we'd watch the VHSs until they, like, got eaten by the VCR. Like, I loved them so much.
Here's the film I was talking about called, tell me if I need to, Kill It and Leave This Town.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a Polish film.
There you go.
If I considered it eligible, it would have been nominated for Best Foreign. Really cool artwork. But yeah, if you want like a dark, I don't know. I like commentary on like post World War II. Polish aspect, really dark, black humor. The animation is super cool. Awesome.
Here's a question when you're done with that. What is the worst movie of 2022?
There we go. If you want to get on the negativity, I told you last night, Dashcam was pretty bad. I should say, as a film, I take that back. As a film, it actually at times was effective. Yeah, I guess just all the anti-woke element, which is fun, whatever. Believe what you want to believe, but that was annoying, and then there was no gratification at the end. But it's a good question too, because like there's one disappointing film was I'm a big fan of. I can go grab that too. Yeah, I'll go grab it.
You got it?
Fuck it. Well, I mean, I like this director, but people will appreciate it. It's just not something I wanted to mention during the awards. It's all about
Positivity.
yeah.
Okay, Mood said the best part of Dashcam was the rapping end credits.
Yeah. She is someone that I would punch in real life.
Oh no! You can't say that.
Moods and I actually talked about this film briefly, on our own time. But Septic, definitely a big fan of Brian Paulin over the years. if you're into underground cinema, particularly gory stuff, you know, he was kind of in the early days of like the era of like, you know, early Fred Vogel, Eric Stanze, you know, Ivan Zucan, Dante Tomaselli, those type of guys. And he's an effects artist, so he's always great. So this was his new one, Septic. He did Blood Pigs, Fetus, some of those stuff. Love Blood Pigs. Anyway, so this was a disappointment. Just in that, it just felt so. I mean, this is a guy who's been making films for. I mean, we're talking like 15 years at this point. I haven't seen any like. I'm not talking about his style. I mean, he is what he is. He makes extreme gore films, but from a technical perspective, I just haven't seen any evolution, like whatsoever. And I don't know, it's just kind of has become boring to me. You know, the acting is just always bad. I don't know. And even in this respect, the gore I don't think was that great. It was a lot of just basically like blood and like chicken innards, you know what I mean, that type of stuff.
Is it better than Monster?
Monster. Anyway, I mean, I'm happy to support him. You buy this directly from him, whatever. But it was disappointing. I mean, I didn't even give it a best effects nomination because I just think, even from effects perspective, it just seemed kind of pedestrian, just kind of blood and squish some chicken guts around. And I don't know. I know he can do so much better. Just my opinion, and not something I wanted to bring up during the show because it's about positivity. Halloween Ends was awful to me.
Yeah, Joker NYC said Halloween hands down the worst film.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's not even worth like getting into, but
it had
it was poorly.
One good scene in the entire thing, and that was like the hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, the fight that wasn't bad.
I loved that. But
I hate the introduction of the new character. You don't introduce a new major character in a third film of a trilogy. Mm-hmm. The whole like Michael Myers hanging out in a sewer.
Yeah.
So if he didn't find him, was he just going to be hanging out down there?
He would have lived there forever.
Just really poorly written. I actually loved Jamie Lee Curtis's character in that. I kind of thought it was cool. Mm-hmm. She was writing a book. And then her granddaughter character, which I thought was actually a strong point of the first two films, suddenly made her completely like weak and annoying, and suddenly she was like against combative towards Jamie Lee Curtis's character, even though what they had just been through, it's horribly written. Totally destroyed that character, and then you bring a new character in that we're supposed to care about.
But didn't at all.
Yeah, it was absolute garbage to me, which it sucks because I mean, I love, I think of the three films, I thought the first one was legitimately good, and they got progressively worse. And looking at who directed it, not surprising, dude has no horror cred at all. Anyway, I thought Texas Chainsaw Massacre on that note was horrible. Because I believe that came out after the new year, if I'm not mistaken.
The Gorefather said TCM ? So I was wondering your
opinion. I actually think
that
was even worse
than
Halloween.
Worse.
That was just
because there wasn't one scene that was even redeemable.
It was complete.
About it
No, the one thing I liked about it was the sunflowers look cool. There was a scene of like Leatherface in the sunflower. I love sunflowers. I think visually they're really cool. Other than that, I thought it was complete garbage. I would say that would probably be, to me, the worst film of the year, in my opinion. It was just complete garbage.
Irish Mad Dog said, "You couldn't pay me enough to watch Jeepers Creepers Reborn."
Yeah, I didn't bother with
Jonathan Wilhelm said Jeepers Creepers Reborn was horrid.
I can imagine. I said earlier how if you don't hear a film, it's either I saw it and didn't like it, or I didn't bother watching it. And there's as much as I watch every year, there are some films, especially you consider how much I watch, and then there's the segment of films that I rewatch. So, you know, I don't got time for Jeepers Creepers, man. I know it's gonna suck. I don't need to
Yeah.
watch it. There's just some of those films. It's just, whatever.
Got a question here from Irish Mad Dog. Did anyone watch a film called Masking Threshold?
I do not know what that is. Keep in mind, too, guys, like, because of, I almost approach everything, which to a fault or not, depending on the way you look at it, everything's kind of, in relation to this show, so there are some films that stream that I purposely don't watch, not because I don't want to watch them, but because I know they're not going to be eligible. And then basically I'll watch them this year. You know what I mean? For example, Hellraiser, who's the director, I'm pretty sure that was the director of Night House, if I'm not mistaken. That, I want to see it and I plan to, but knowing that in my criteria to be eligible, it didn't have a theatrical release or a physical release. It was just streaming. Therefore, I didn't need to watch it for this show. So that's the perfect example of a film I will watch probably, within the next month, month or so. So I didn't purposely diss it or anything. I know that's on someone. I know some people hated it, some people loved it, but certainly a film I will be watching. But it's just an example of one that I skipped over because I knew it wasn't going to be eligible for the awards. So just so you know, kind of my approach to that. There's plenty of films like that, I'm sure.
Hellraiser was alright, said Scott.
Yeah,
Michael Christopher really liked Hellraiser.
Yeah, I've seen. It seemed to be one of those love-hate ones to me. Have we gotten anybody's number ones? I asked what people's number ones were.
Yeah, they're naming movies, but I think because you brought up or somebody brought up their least favorite of 2022.
Oh, no one said their favorite?
I think, let me scroll up. Jonathan Wilhelm. Number 1, The Sadness. Number
Okay.
2, Terrifier 2. Number 3, Deadstream.
Let's see, Deadstream. That's gotta be a streamer. Deadstream.
Yeah.
That's all we got was Sadness. I can respect The Sadness as number 1. I mean, can't argue with that. It's a great film.
X. Scott S. loved X.
Don't blame me on that one.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's nice to see something like that looked like it was straight up from the 70s. Like, it was excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent! I went there.
I don't think if there's any other films. Definitely, it's probably one of my least talked about films that got a big nomination. Definitely, people check out A Banquet. Very cool. You Are Not My Mother, another one that I haven't seen on a lot of people's lists. Feast. Winner of Best Foreign here. Another one. And plenty. There's always so many films that I don't see on people's lists, which, if it's because people thought it sucked, fine. But I think in a lot of cases, it's because people didn't see them. And that's kind of why I do this awards. I just want these films, people to give them a chance, Check out Medusa, another one on that topical. It's on Blu-ray. I could grab that maybe if I can find it. A film I didn't really get. Oh boy, almost lost the camera.
Forefather said The Innocents was epic. Terrifier 2 and Pearl have been great. Michael Christopher, Pearl is probably my favorite horror film.
All right.
Irish Mad Dog. Was so happy to see you bring up both A Banquet and The Feast.
Yeah, who said that?
Irish Mad Dog.
Right on, man. My man. Those were, honestly, it's cool that you said that because since we've gone with the way of Finchy and I collaborating, again, we take my nominations, which I made, and we, like you said, make a game out of it. We basically kind of write it down, throw it down like a deck of cards, and these are our favorite two of the batch. And if we have a match, obviously that ends up being the winner. If we don't, then obviously we got some work to do. And it's funny that this year for the foreign via DM, it was both of us. It was A Banquet and Feast, which is pretty cool. And that was, so Banquet and Feast were my final two picks, and we end up both going with Feast. Those two and You Are My Mother would make a great triple feature because they're elevated horror. Some of mental illness, pro environmentalist, anti-capitalism, not anti, I'm trying to say.
Mood said Old Man movie was released by Honor Films. Tom, did you see it? It was amazing.
It's called Old Man movie?
Old Man movie.
I definitely did not see that.
Let me look it up.
So here's, someone brought up Innocence. Pretty cool cover. Not to be confused with the old black and white film.
Oh, it's just called Old Man.
It's just Old Man. Did not see Old Man. I will definitely check it out. And Medusa. You see this, Shelley? How's that look?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, good.
Brazilian film, and it's kind of cool to see a film that's is parallel to a dynamic that we're going through here in the U.S. in that right now in the U.S. it's kind of the far right. The last couple of years have embraced fascism teetering with theocracy, and right now Brazil is going through theocracy. In this film, we can get to where this film is here in this country, which is terrifying. But so it's basically about kind of like a weaponized youth group of Christianity, and they basically go through vigilante style and fuck with non-believers, and it's just too topical because literally that's something they're going through politically and socially in Brazil as we speak. So really good film that I haven't seen anyone talk about. So go pick up the Blu-ray of this, that if you're like me will completely anger you. Great, fantastic final act, very poignant, and hit home for me as someone who was, grew up with Christianity. So some of the youth group angles definitely hit home big time. This film and You Are Not My Mother, as far as from a personal perspective, were resonated with me the most as far as personally this year, which is great. Again, a genre that can do that, which doesn't get enough credit for doing that.
Joker NYC said, did you watch a movie called Death to Metal? I think you'll like it.
I did actually. It's a good point. I actually forgot to put that. That's not, I think, so much shit.
It's a lot.
So that would have been an honorable mention. Some of these, like, as someone who's, been in metal bands my whole life, and kind of another misunderstood, much kind of like horror, where these outside perceptions of metal are stereotypical, when in reality, the metal genre is so vast and it's very, there's a reason they get, associated with each other a lot. But metal too, even like the music we play currently, it reaches from a lot of different forms of music, and it's not just the cliched bullshit. So I think a lot of these horror metal films are okay, but what was the one? What was it called? Oh shit, from a few years back that a lot of people liked that Finch and I thought were okay. The name escapes me. Oh man, I forget it. Anyway, no, I thought it was fun, but yeah, I forgot to have. I'm sure there's a few other films I forgot to have in my honorable mention list, but that would be one of them. I'm sure there's a few others.
Old Man was the same lead as in Don't Breathe.
Oh, okay.
I googled him real quick when you mentioned it, just to see the cast and
now
stuff.
that you
I recognized the lead.
Now that you say that, I remember seeing him in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's on the cover of the movie.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing it, and it was probably something I saw somewhat recently, and it was probably too late for me to make a move on it.
Mm-hmm. Hope said you have Alex shopping on Arrow Video right now.
That warms my fucking heart.
Hell yeah.
One, I love the fact, by the way, Alex is, can we say what?
Yeah.
So he's, my daughter's boyfriend, and again, a
cinematographer.
Really talented cinematographer, which, just from a film fan, to see a young person be into not just filmmaking and genre filmmaking, but into cinematography. Like, you got to be into that specific element of film. That's really cool. Someone who loves cinematography. Anyway, to see young people get into physical media is just awesome, because that'll keep, whether it be, I know vinyl, is big. I think a lot of young people appreciate vinyl, which is really cool, which they probably get from their parents. But just the tangible of holding it, I think any generation can appreciate that. You're listening to a record and you're looking at the artwork, big artwork, 12 inches in your hand, open it up, gatefold, lyrics are there. There's effort, there's action to it. Same thing with a movie. You got this box set, and maybe you just watched it and you're excited, you liked it, and you got this edition, and here's these art cards, and you're like, oh, these characters I like, it's just that's what it is, and that's what's special about it. And you appreciate the artwork, and you appreciate the liner notes, and it's just that passion that just gets, it's so cool seeing, like, whether it be my daughter and some of her friends appreciate that physical aspect, and that's why I think it won't die. I think young people can appreciate that. Books, I know, working where I work in retail, I see young people, actually book sales being into it are up all across our country. Physical book sales. Probably an art, from a national perspective, DVD and Blu-rays are absolutely down. So it's more niche, but as we all know as horror fans, it's very lucrative within the horror niche scene.
Community, yeah.
But, as a whole, CDs, stuff like that. But vinyl and books are actually very, sales have increased, which is really cool. And seeing, my daughter and maybe some of her friends get into that is just awesome. Especially with movies.
Scott S. said, I just bought Deathgasm, but it was called Heavy Metal Apocalypse.
That's the one, Deathgasm. That's the one I was literally just,
And then Irish Mad Dog said that was the Walmart version. They censored the title.
Nice, yeah. I remember that.
Jeez.
Walmart, of all people. You can go in and buy a fucking, assault rifle. And basically,
But you gotta censor those words.
30 minutes you can buy an assault rifle, but
Yeah.
shitty horror movie, you have to like get your ID. You gotta type in your date of birth.
Michael Christopher
Funny.
said, "Do you realize that you called Terrifier 2 Terminator 2?
T2. That was her. That was Hope's idea.
Call it Terminator 2?
Well, she wrote up the
The cue cards.
cue cards and she
Yeah.
put T2. She was a big help in that. Normally I will handwrite all the cue cards, and she did it for me this year, which was a huge help. Now you guys, a lot of work that goes into this. You know,
Writing each
writing
category.
and the
and
envelopes
cue cards.
and
Yeah.
the cards
Keeping
in
it in order.
the cards in the envelopes. Yeah, there's a lot. Hopefully you guys like
Call it T-Fire.
the location. I think it's awesome that we were able to do it here. We wanted to do this last year, but
I think people liked it, and
Yeah, I think it looks
comes
good.
across nice on the stream. So.
maybe
Yeah.
you guys, maybe I could shoot since I don't do YouTube videos anymore. If you guys would be down, we could do a nightmare video.
You gotta do a walkthrough.
Yeah, just take you guys through it, show some stuff. There's a counter here, which you probably can't see.
Scott said your room is dope.
There's a register here, telephone, rotary phone.
You could do a walkthrough. Just
Yeah.
pick up the phone.
I'm not gonna do it now. Maybe I could. I'll do it sometime.
All right.
I promise. We'll show. There's a counter here with stuff in the case and additions and.
Well,
yeah,
you're saying
there's
it, but you're not showing it.
Oh, I'm not gonna bother. Is that old Milwaukee still flowing? What is that? Who was drinking that? Is that Irish Mad Dog or is that Wilhelm? Is the Milwaukee still flowing?
Is the old milk?
Because that's one of those beers you could have like 40 of them in the night, and you'd be okay.
People definitely want to see a walkthrough.
We'll do it. I'll try to do it. You know.
Flowing like the salmon of Capistrano. Fucking
And who is that? Irish Mad Dog?
Irish Mad Dog. No, that was Jonathan that said that. Irish Mad Dog said, Irish Mad Dog is drinking Birra Moretti at the moment.
Jonathan Wilhelm, again, congratulations with the comment of the night.
Flowing like the salmon of Capistrano.
Moods, I don't know if you're still out there, but
This is out there.
seriously, you and the wife, open invitation.
He did
I-
say it's gonna happen.
To be honest, we would love to come visit you guys. Like, let's do
yeah.
reciprocate. Like, that'd be amazing. If you'd have us, it'd be totally pretty sure.
Let's try and work it out so that next year at this time he's here with us.
I don't know about next year, man. That's on him, man. That's a
Yeah, but that gives him enough time to plan.
yes, but that's
That's a
That's a
year.
travel. He's
Right.
not only is he on the other side, but he's other side over the border.
Right.
So I mean, that's
So in a
hey,
year,
man, that's up to you. But
Let's
the
plan
invitation,
this.
of course. Would I love to have moods here next year? Absolutely. But that's no pressure. But you're certainly welcome, and we'd love to visit you guys. That'd be cool.
would love to.
Again, Michael, I'm gonna pester you. I don't know if you're still out there, but I'm gonna pester you until you cast me in one of your films, just because it would be an absolute honor.
Michael Christopher.
Michael Bailiff. It's early for him. He's in Utah, but very cool to have a really talented filmmaker check in with us. It's awesome. I'd love to be in a witching season film. I was in a film recently, guys, that's out there now. I'm going to throw that out there. We watched it last night. Greg Lamberson who within the horror genre would be known for a Slime City Massacre cult low budget film from many years back. He lives in Western New York now, and he's kind of become a family friend and kind of a
Yeah.
I mean, has definitely taken Hope under his wings and been a big help to her. And she's worked on a bunch of his films, recent films, as a PA and most recently an AD, which is awesome. So she's gained lots of valuable on-set experience thanks to him. So that's super cool. Anyway, his latest film, it's called Guns of Eden, which is an action film, which you should be able, I believe, to stream. I don't know if you want to Google and see where it's kind of available. Just type in Guns of Eden. Kind of an old school action film. Anyway, I have a very small part in it, but that was very cool. You can see me walk around with you can see me get killed and walk around with a AR-15.
Prime.
So it's on Amazon Prime. There's it.
Apple TV.
Apple TV. There was a DVD of it. You can get it on Amazon. So it's called Guns of Eden. So Hope was
Prime.
AD on it, and I have a very small part in it. So check it out if you wanna. Yeah, I remember seeing the old man. That was Lucky McKee, right? Director. Yeah. So I did not get a chance to see that. Yeah, Lucky McKee. But so I assume the fact that Moods brought it up, it was good. So
Yeah.
I will definitely check it out. Can't see them all. I see a ton, but another one I don't remember. It just occurred to me one of those ones now that I didn't. I think I'm guilty. Clerical errors again. I think it was supposed to be an honorable mention. It's a low budget, very low budget film called Back Road. And it had some really good gore. Not the best film, kind of a just exploitation, back road type horror movie, but there was some good gore in that. Just kind of hit me right now. Cool Blu-ray edition. Some penis gore in that one. You guys know I love my penis gore. Update on things though, like podcasts. If any of you out there know that I do have a podcast, so there's been no new content since last
2019?
February. No, I think last year. Oh yeah, that's right. Since I've been here. Yeah. Okay, so it's been a while.
2019.
Anyway, it's there. It's called Cannibal Holocaust. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. Yeah, only a few episodes. But if you're unaware, give it a follow. Check out the episodes I do have. There's lots of stuff coming. I just haven't, we moved last year, so that's crazy. If any of you out there have sold and subsequently purchased a home, that's a lot. New jobs, all that stuff.
We need to build like a studio type of thing.
Yeah, we have. So Hope did live here and she moved out. So we have her room, which I'm going to turn into my kind of, I suppose at some point maybe the Hornies will end up in that room. But it'll be like my podcast YouTube studio, which is really cool. And I need more equipment for the podcast. I did get this laptop here, so I need some microphones and headphones and stuff like that. But I have lots of stuff written, so it's coming. So the podcast will be back. I'm excited for that because I want to see that grow once I get going. So once they settle down, we're still in a band, and right now, it's a little more difficult living away from the rest of the band, which sucks, but we're beyond the middle of finishing our full-length record, which, again, we're writing right now and will eventually come out. If you're into kind of atmospheric post-rock meets black metal meets shoegaze, called Sertraline, look that up. Named after the
Generic
Zoloft, which I am on, which does wonders for me.
Music is here on YouTube too.
YouTube, Spotify, Bandcamp, Sertraline. There is a UK-based band called Sertraline, so that's not us. So if you're into like depressing, atmospheric metal,
I put it in the chat.
big
so people can
sound.
spell it
Shelly
right.
plays guitar. I do vocals.
Jay plays guitar.
Jay plays
He's
guitar.
still in the chat.
Lucio Finci plays guitar. We have 3 guitars. Big sound. We're excited about this record, which will eventually come out. It's been between the pandemic and us moving away. It's made things difficult. But anyway, so we're so focused on that. So eventually, the podcast Cannibal Holocaust will be back, and I got a lot of content to do. I'm sure I'll associate the Golden Horn Awards eventually with that. And yeah, we're gonna make a room into a studio, so that'll be really cool. So that's coming eventually. I want to be involved once I get my equipment down. I want to. Moods is cool enough that he's welcomed me. I did 1 episode with them, but he's welcomed me to be a contributor, a frequent contributor to him, which would love him and love his show on those guys. So
Got a comment.
hopefully that's around down the corner.
Irish Mad Dog said, "I've always been curious about your music. I was a black metal vocalist for 15 years, man."
That's awesome.
Damn, black metal vocalist for 15 years.
That's amazing, dude.
Did we play with you?
Much
before?
respect, dude. Yeah, I don't know where are you out of. I'm just curious. I don't know where you're from. Check out our old band, which we were around for 15 years, called Where She Wept. Check out YouTube, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, I believe. Very more kind of like Doom meets black metal, kind of like My Dying Bride meets Catatonia meets Dimmu Borgir, that type of stuff. Shelly played keyboards in that band. I did vocals. Lucio Finci, guitar in that band. So check that band out.
Irish Mad Dog
Lots.
lives in Edmonton, Alberta.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Big discography for that band, Where She Wept. A bunch of records, so check that out if you're into kind of the doomy, sorrowful stuff. And then Sertraline's more on the kind of like black gaze, post black metal type stuff. But yeah, check it out. And let me know, comment, I'll check out any of your stuff.
Loomis.
Moods, I'd love to, you come visit. Finchie would be down to this, man. Have a nice hip hop night. Moods, great, vast knowledge of hip hop. Moods, you'll probably appreciate this if you're still out there. I've been getting back into hip hop artists that I've loved called Dr. Octagon. I can only imagine you're a fan of him. Cool Keith is his other moniker. But yeah, kind of been listening to him a lot lately, after many years of not listening to him. But yeah, it'd be awesome to have some beers, listen to hip hop.
Got a couple happy birthday wishes. It's midnight.
Oh shit, is it midnight?
It's 12:02. Happy birthday.
Another year older, everybody.
Hoax 000 says Buffalo Black Metal AO.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Who are you?
I don't know who Hoax
Who are you?
000
Buffalo.
Scott S says happy birthday.
I assume we know you.
Michael Christopher said where she went. I guess he must know about all of our typos that we used to get.
Who's Michael Christopher?
I don't know. They've been commenting
Yeah.
all night. I thought you knew them.
I'm sure there's people out there who I don't know what your YouTube moniker is, so show yourself.
Gorefather said happy birthday. You and your horror movies, happy birthday.
Phil, you still around?
Irish Mad Dog, happy birthday, Tom Charles.
Phil, you know I love you, man. I will. I mean it when I say I'm gonna visit you. I mean it's Shelly and I dream. I mean even before we met, I dreamed to do it. Hey, we got Loomis on the counter over here, everybody.
You got two people, Tom, saying you should do a metal award show.
Follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of like my favorite albums of the year, and for the record, I don't just like metal. I love lots of other stuff. Everything but country, basically. Miss. What was I saying?
About traveling to Moods.
Yeah. So no, that's Phil. So Europe. I mean, that's.
Oh, Europe. Oh.
I love. We really want to go to Italy because I want to go to Dario Argento's Profondo Rosso store. That's like number one, and then I'd love to hit up definitely Germany. Cool thing about Europe, obviously, you can hit up a bunch of different spots, in a short period of time. But like Phil, seriously, I'd love if you and your wife would have us. We'd love to if we could crash at your place. Seriously, though, we'd like to do that one in the next few years for sure. Maybe have a Hornies in Germany. That would be absolutely amazing.
Mood said, "I know Tom likes that '90s hip hop."
Yeah, I know. Mood's probably like, listen to some new hip hop. No, I'm aware, dude. Like I like, obviously I'm not as versed as you, but I like. There's contemporary stuff. I like the Coup and Jedi Mind Tricks and some other stuff. So.
Cage is my favorite rapper, said Hoax 00.
I like some really recent stuff is I love Clipping. That's a recent hip hop artist. I like Clipping period at the end. Space Africa is a record from a couple years ago that I really loved. Just to name a few. So, I'm in. I dabble, man. I listen to a lot, last few years, a lot of post-punk, contemporary post-punk, synthwave, dark wave stuff. There's so much good shit out there. Stuff that's influenced by the 80s, but actually, like, better than the shit that they're homaging.
Clipping has a great horror record.
Yeah.
Mood said very political.
Yeah.
Black Pegasus.
Yeah.
Scott S. says that.
Yeah, lots of good shit out there, man. Like I said, I'm not as into it as you are, man, but I dabble, dude. I dabble.
You ever watch Sorry to Bother You?
I'm pretty sure Finchie's a fan of that. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but Swallow's wrong.
Scandroid is great.
Scandroid.
Gunship is sick synthwave.
So much good.
Gunship.
So much good synthwave. It just is totally vast.
Hope said Stephen Young is in Sorry to Bother You.
Okay, maybe not then. I might be thinking of something else. Stephen Young's in everything.
Stephen
He's
Young.
hot. He's a hot actor.
And like everything I've seen him in is good. Even though I haven't seen everything, but what I have seen him in is good.
Non-horror
I trust
related.
him.
I know Hope's, and I've seen this film definitely be all over people's list. Non-horror speaking. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Hope loved that. That was her.
Loved it a lot.
That was her favorite film of the year. Great film, absolutely. Speaking non-horror, look at this.
That's gonna fall. That is not gonna work. Unless you want to move that camera
it doesn't.
over.
I don't need to have that. Just put that down on the floor.
Okay.
You don't have to move the camera. All right. What time we got here, people? I got my phone. Awesome hanging with you guys. Only a minute. I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, like the actual award show ended at like 1. And then we had a little bit of after that. I'm down to go. You can go to 12:30 if you got 12:30 Eastern time. So another 20 minutes if you guys are cool with that. Yeah,
Can I actually talk about everything everywhere?
absolutely. Hope wants to come.
I was watching up there.
She was watching. She got triggered. Yeah, come sit for a minute.
I don't want to be on camera.
Oh, you want to be
I'll
on
just sit over
camera?
here.
Okay. Hope wants to tell you guys her thoughts on that film. Give your brief
Well,
thoughts.
what did you think of it?
That was great.
I've seen it 4 times in the theater.
She saw it 4 times in the theater.
It got re-released like a couple months ago, and they had like a little like message from the directors in it too. That's probably like one of my favorite movies like of the decade.
You're one of those people though that's like you see a movie that you love, you're like it's one of my all-time favorites.
But this one is different. I feel like this one actually is. You know.
Yeah, it's great. That it?
Yeah.
All right, she's.
Well, you gotta give me something to go back.
Well, I don't know,
to
like
bounce off of.
not really. Yeah, not a ping pong player. You're welcome to say anything you want about.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about everything else. Do you have the comments in front of you?
Yeah, I can't see them. If you want to grab it. So, what did you guys see that movie? What are your thoughts? I know it's non-horror wise, that's definitely in a lot of people's top list, deservedly so.
Mm-hmm. Alex said Bones and All was probably my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, what do you? Any of you guys see Bones and All? I don't remember if you guys commented on that earlier, but definitely, you know, I love how every year there's a couple surprises, and to me that would definitely be one of the.
I was surprised that was even like in theaters.
Are you surprised that that won?
Yeah, I was. I was very happy that won.
So yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it. I love what's her name in that film?
Jessica Harper.
Yeah, that's the point. That's not what I was thinking about. For the record, Jessica Harper of Suspiria fame has a adorable. She's gotta be in her 70s now.
Yeah, probably.
She has a small, which is cool. Obviously, she had a role in the Suspiria remake. So yeah, nice little. There's an anecdote for you.
Bones and All also had like a recurring like title track.
Yeah, I like theme track.
What
The
was that
actress,
again?
yeah, Chloe, who I've always been a fan of her. She is a really cool part in that. But yeah, go see Bones and All. Don't be skept.
Jonathan Wilhelm said, "Love Top Gun Maverick."
I was never, honestly, I was never a fan of Top Gun or Tom Cruise.
Oh, someone mentioned The Whale as well. I saw that like a week ago, and it was a great movie, but I'll never watch it again.
Is that considered 2023 though? Didn't that like release like?
Mm-mm.
When didn't it release like the end of the year?
Yeah, it's not.
So technically,
Yeah, the end of the year. But
did release
it
just
didn't-
before the new year.
Yeah.
So it's one of those late. Well, I mean, you got Darren Aronofsky. You know, I'm sure it's amazing. Definitely, will see it. Yeah, Top Gun. I know a lot of people are into Top Gun. Have praised that film. I was just not someone who ever was really. I saw the first movie like once. You know, when I was younger, and yeah.
I know you didn't watch it, but Bodies was really good.
Well, some people thought Bodies was good.
People are calling it Gen Z horror, which I wouldn't argue with, but I think it was really good.
Yeah.
And it had a really cool score, and the horror elements were really good.
Yeah.
And
Maybe-
a lot of it was shot with like iPhone light, so it was like just the flashlight
Yeah.
on people's phones.
Maybe someday I'll watch it, but
You should.
one of those ones I didn't watch.
And the characters were really good.
But it's got what's his name in it.
He dies though.
Fucking
in
lame.
like the first 20 minutes. Pete Davidson dies. What other non-horror movies? Marcel the Shell with shoes on?
Yeah, who saw Marcel the Shell? Anybody?
Marcel the Shell was great. Someone says, have you seen Megan yet? Are you gonna see Megan?
Oh God. I mean, I'm cognizant, of course, that it's supposed to be silly, but that trailer just angered me. I get it's no, I have no desire to see Megan. I'm not gonna see Megan.
Mithrigan?
Not gonna see it. I'm sorry.
Oh, someone said, was the name Lydia inspired by the Beetlejuice character at all? Just a fun question. No, I just think it's a cool name. Honestly, probably Lydia from Breaking Bad. You remember her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, since we're gonna wrap up soon, go when you can. You got 18 minutes to spare. Put it in your watch list. Lydia's Fall, please, and please comment so that Hope will see your.
It's on the
Your
channel.
thoughts.
It's called Films from the Lagoon, and that has Lydia's Fall and the box on it.
There you go. So, follow and please leave a comment. Whether you loved it, you hated it, whatever. Leave a comment.
Well,
give it a
don't
watch.
comment if you hated it.
You know.
Someone said I enjoyed Bullet Train. I work at a movie theater and that was out for a very long time. Not nearly as long as Top Gun. Alex said Fablemans.
What is it?
The Fablemans. The
I don't know
new
what that is.
Spielberg movie.
Oh, I didn't know he had a new movie.
It's essentially about his life. David Lynch has a scene in that movie.
Spielberg? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to end it?
You put it down. One in a few minutes.
Here, I want you to read it.
Read what?
The comments.
All right, guys. I'm taking over the board.
I'm going back.
So we're wrapping up here. Oh yeah, Violent Night. I didn't see Violent Night.
So why don't you get on camera?
Here you go.
Another theater film. I heard that was more action oriented. Whatever. Michael Christopher said hi, Tom. I don't know. Who are you?
That's 26.
Oh, really?
I think you mentioned it earlier.
No, I didn't
It's
see
Mike.
it. Really. No one said that. to
No,
me.
but like I saw it in the
Oh, well,
chat.
no one-
You were talking.
Sorry,
you know.
Mike. No one. No one said that. You know, I don't see the board, so. Jesus, Mike, I love you, man. I miss you. Miss you greatly. You're always welcome to come visit the new home. And of course, movie day.
Yeah.
It's not the same without you, man. You could catch a ride with Finchy next year if you want. But I miss you, brother. I hope you are well, and you're of course always welcome. We'd love for you to come visit.
Violent Night was great.
Yeah, I didn't
wanna
see it.
Violent Night. It just seemed fun. I know it's not like horror, but whatever. It seems fun. John Leguizamo and Land of the Dead.
Let me take this. I'm gonna wrap it up in a few.
All right.
I want to thank you all for sticking around the after party. It's been a great night. Again, this is my favorite nights of the year. I don't know how long I guess I'll just keep doing this until no one watches it.
Until
But,
there's 0 viewers.
Again, I love the year, spending so many hours and money supporting modern horror. I just love the journey of the year. It's so cool. And then, you know, at the end of the year, culminating in this and talking to you guys and, you know, adding to the collection, just seeing so many great new films. It's a rewarding thing. It's awesome. And having a daughter who's a filmmaker who maybe sometime down the line will be on someone other's top 10 list or whatever, which I know will happen. But yeah, I really appreciate you all watching. For all the people, hopefully, you know, that will watch this later, appreciate it very much.
There's a question for you, Tom.
Yeah.
Do you think Beetlejuice 2 will actually come out?
I think so.
I think it will.
I'll definitely
It's
check
been
it.
Very long
Yeah.
in the making.
I'll definitely check it out for
yeah.
sure. I think it'll happen. Yeah, I'm looking forward to check out Mood's final show, and you want to follow me on Instagram.
What do you mean Mood's final show?
Well, not final show, his final of the year show, I should
Oh.
say.
Okay.
His best
There's
of the
a
year.
big difference
Sorry,
there.
his best of the year show. Again, Cannibal Holocaust will return in the future. I can't tell you when exactly, but maybe I'll do a Nightmare video walk through on the channel. So it won't be another year till I see you guys. Again, thanks so much for watching the show, making your night a part of my night. It's been awesome. Appreciate you guys a lot that you make this part of your year. One final charge to You Won't Be Alone. I know it seems like a lot of you liked it. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Charge to the Year in Horror. Everyone be safe. I hope you all have a great, healthy year. Keep in touch. And I'm going to go watch the Sabres and their overtime victory, allegedly. Whether or not that's accurate or not.
Allegedly.
But
It's right.
final charge. Thank you so much, everybody. All you guys, whether it's early or late, thank you for sticking around. It really means a lot. It was a lot of fun. Definitely feels like we're all hanging out. Well, we are all hanging out. And hope you enjoyed it. And
Yeah,
buy
have
physical
you
media,
seen
support films. Any film that you haven't seen that interests you, please check it out. Let me know what you think. Go check out Lydia's Fall. Buy Libido by Severin Films. Banquet, Feast, all these films, The Righteous.
Just fucking buy it.
Just fucking buy it, man. Everyone stay safe, be well. Love you all. Chars. So concludes another year, another Hornies. We'll see you next year for Golden Horn Awards 13. We'll see you, everybody. Chars.
Cheers, y'all. Just give me the fuck.